Hey everybody, welcome to another exciting episode of Javier in the Air. Unfortunately, last week was horrible as far as computer technology was concerned. I had some horrible issues that I couldn't even resolve all day Sunday. I was 4 hours just trying to get something to work, and it didn't work, of course. So I am here for this episode, though. Welcome. I'm going to show a little bit of just the trash over the past 2 weeks, not as much as I would since we're now a little bit under the gun. I'm going to talk a little bit about Halloween, which just happened. As you can see, I did shave for my birthday like I normally do every year. So thanks for everyone's thoughts on that. And then we will talk a little bit. I do believe I still have a beer that Brother Rob and I did. Actually, two beers, and so I'll see if I can get them on here as well. So it's going to be jam packed. So let's go to the trash. Okay, here we go. So it's probably best that I got 2 weeks worth in of trash because there was really a lot of trash. So as you see here, plastic bags, soda cans, very little cigarette butts, but then a lot of big, heavy stuff, cans and towels and trash bags full of stuff and other small bags full of stuff. This one day, I actually found this shirt a little bit across the street from me. And before anybody thinks about it, it was soaked in gasoline and had something on the backside that I won't even talk about. Plus more receipts and other bags. And this is only half of the day. There was more, but I didn't add it to this list. And then we'll see a bunch of cigarette butts, the top of a fender, I'm sorry, for a hubcap, some cigarette boxes, and some water bottles on the far end, and a lot of aluminum foil and receipts. This was a couple days after Thanksgiving. I'm sorry, after Halloween. Thanksgiving hasn't come yet. And here's the last picture I want to show you. This was from day 6, so just recently went to get coffee, and you can see, again, a lot of the stuff out there. It's just ridiculous. If I don't hit something every 2 days, it gets like this. So there's the trashy hood. So I want to thank I know that there are people out there picking up stuff going on different routes than I'm doing, but I've seen some people out there in the distance picking up trash, and thank you for that. I think if we can all help out when and where we can, then that's a plus. I'm not saying you need to do it. I'm not trying to tell you to do it. You do what you do. I know it's a bad saying, but if you have a moment and you're walking a lot like I am, then maybe you can stop to kind of smell the roses by picking up some trash so you can actually smell them and not smell stuff like alcoholic drinks and many bottles of vodka and Fireball whiskey. So anyway, so let's, for those of you who may not have known, actually, let me step back a bit. For those of you who haven't watched my show before, thank you for watching Javier in the Air. I just got my new handle from YouTube, which is Javier in the Air 01. So now if you do a search for Javier in the Air 01, or you I think even a Google search, I haven't checked that out, but supposedly that's how it's supposed to work, you should be able to find my stuff. So that's Javier in the Air 01, all together. So for those of you who are new, I continue to say welcome. I hope you will enjoy the show, and we'll continue to watch the show as it progresses over the next couple of years. We do mostly local stuff, though I will, and I am not opposed to interviewing anybody and everybody as long as we don't hit the big two. And if you want to know what those are, just let me know. But if you have a mom and pop place and you have a small business and you'd like to get it on the air, I want to apologize to Tim K. He had a barbecue fest this weekend, and unfortunately I was having some truck issues and I was not able to get out to his barbecue fest, so I apologize for that. If those of you who did make it out there, including Tim, again, I apologize. But if you have any pictures or video you'd like to send me, please let me know. And send them to me, and I can get them on the next week's show. So it was supposed to be a really good fest. Still small but growing. And speaking of small but growing, we have the Be the Light Craft Fair coming up next week. So for those of you who may be watching this solely for the Be the Light Craft Fair plug, there you go. Crazy Stacy has once again put together a fantastic craft fair. There are about 60 vendors. It's right down the street from me, so literally where's the camera? Just down the street from me. And it is, in fact, I'll be there. I have some wares to sell. I made some of the ice dye shirts that Zyda P was nice enough to show me how to do, and I got some dye and soda ash from here and put together a couple of one. In fact, I have a couple stewing in their own dye juices right now, and so we'll see how they came out. So we're gonna have a good grouping of stuff. I might even get some loofah out there to sell. Ice dye shirts and Zyda's gorgeous quilts that she has out there. She has a ton of them now. Well, not a ton, but she has a lot of them. So I recommend highly going by the booth, saying hi to me, saying hi to James and Zyda P, and get a look at those quilts. They're very nicely made. They're very thick. They're very big. They are exactly the kind of quilt that you used to see on Grandma's bed or on her as she was sitting in the rocking chair by the fireplace. Whose grandmother did that? I know. Mine never did. It was way too hot here in Texas. But get a chance. She also did some fantastic ice dye shirts. All of them, I'm sure, better than mine. I just tried my hand at it because I thought it would be cool and I thought it'd be something that we could do as a neighborhood. So this is the Hickory crew doing it for the Be Light Craft Fair. So hope to see you out there. Be sure and stop by and say hi. If you want to do a plug for your booth or something like that, just let me know. I'll get you on my phone video wise. I'll probably also be walking around as well because I know there's stuff I want to get. So now let's real quick. I have some Halloween stuff, and the neighborhood did a good job of decorating this year. I unfortunately did not. So let's see what I got as far as Halloween goes. Okay, so here we are. I believe this is Red Bay. I wanted to take a shot from a couple of steps back. So this was, I think, also done just the beginning of October. So there's a black cat there in the middle, in between the first and second floor, and then there's a scarecrow on the left, and there's some more to it. So I stepped in, and as you can see, the cat is much better with the little bat wings on the right, and then the scarecrow in the middle, and then on the left is a spooky tree with a ghost and a couple of jack-o'-lanterns, and I think there's an owl on there. All of these are blow up, but they're very, very cool. I thought it was good to see. Here was another shot of another street. You see the bats on the garage door, which I thought was really cool. And then they have skeleton dogs sniffing around and a couple of skeletons inside cages. And then on the left there is looks like an old dollhouse that they spray painted black. And there's a couple of witches with the cauldron there. So I thought that was cool. Here's a little bit better shot. It looks almost exactly the same. But I forgot to mention on the right hand side by the door, on the house, on the siding, by the siding are some graves with some gravestone markers on there. So this was a really cool setup by the house. And then this was where the maze was. If anybody has some pictures of inside the Halloween maze, this is on the left-hand side of El Salito. If you've never been there before, these people have been doing this for, I want to say, at least 10 years. I know they've done it as long as I've been around, which is about 8. And then here's the front of it. So really cool maze that they have. They set it up so that it runs the 29th, 30th, and 31st. And you walk through there, and supposedly they have some really good stuff. I did not have an opportunity to go through there, but it looks like a really nice setup, and I've heard great things about it. And then finally, this is outside of Mojo Coffee, where my friends and I usually walk on a Saturday morning. As you see there, they have the pumpkin setup. My personal favorite is the one that just says "Boo." So overall, I think it was a really good decorations for the Halloween this year. All right, so special beer review today. This is AleSmith Brewing Company, which I've had a lot of their stuff, really good stuff. This is their Imperial Stout, which is a Imperial Stout with coffee. It's called Speedway Stout. This is 12% ABV. It's bottled out of San Diego, California. And it says in the back, this is from the Great American Beer Festival 2008, Small Brewing Company of the Year. Their stout's ominous pitch black appearance has become a hallmark of this modern day classic. Chocolate and roasted malts dominate the flavor, supported by notes of dark fruit, toffee, and caramel. A healthy dose of locally roasted coffee from Ryan Brothers Coffee added to each batch brings out the beer's dark chocolate flavors and enhances its drinkability. Despite its intensity, Speedway Stout's fine carbonation and creamy mouth feel makes it very smooth and surprisingly easy to drink. This beer ages very well and will continue to mature for many years to come. So this is a 2017 pressing. I don't know if it's a pressing, it's not wine, but 2017. So
Bottled in 2017.
here we go. Here's Brother Rob's review of it.
So it was aged 5 years in their temperature control cellar. This is in celebration of the brother's birthday.
Yay!
It's really good. It's got a little barrel aged flavor to it, but it's kind of been mellowed out because it's sat around for a while. So you don't even taste the alcohol. Usually with something that's 12%, you have a real heavy alcohol feel.
So 1 to 10?
8 or 8.5.
8.5. Okay. So let me see here. Got mine. Oh damn, that's good. That's good stuff. Yeah, I'll probably say 8 or 8.5 as well. So this is the Imperial Stout with coffee. L. Smith Brewing Speedway Stout. Check it out. Okay, so here is we get a bonus one today for celebrating the upcoming B-Day. This is Nightmare Fuel from River North Brewery, which is out of Denver, Colorado. This is a coffee imperial stout, and you see of course they got the Halloween type thing working for today, or this week, or this month, however you want to look at it. So this is just a small can, not like a bottle like we had for the Speedway. So let's check in with Brother Rob, Coffee Imperial Stout.
Yeah, I think I've had this one before. It's a very strong smell of coffee.
Yeah, there's a low amount of beers that you haven't had before, brother.
This is not true, but this is very good. It's certainly not as smooth as the last one was, because the last one was aged 5 years.
Oh, by the way, it's also 11 ABV, 11% ABV. So what do you give it?
I give it a solid 7.
Oh, a 7. Okay.
It's a nice coffee stout without being over the top. It's not super sweet. It's not barrel aged. I kind of get over those. Excuse me, pretty quickly.
Okay.
7.
All right. So let's go here. Show you a bit of my backyard with the no view fence. Here's mine. Right away, I definitely smell the aroma of coffee, like almost like straight up coffee right out of a Mr. Coffee coffee maker. For those of you that remember Mr. Coffee, it is not as smooth as the other one, and it's almost like I'm drinking regular coffee that I let go cold, and I put a couple of ice cubes in it, hoping that I can drink it like iced brewed coffee or cold brewed coffee. So I know Brother Rob gave it a 7. I'm gonna go ahead and give this one a 6 thumbs up. So yeah, there you go. Hey everyone, welcome to, let me fix my glasses here. Welcome to the bottom line. So, this episode, portion of the episode, is new job versus old job. So, we've talked a lot about quietly quitting. We talked about quietly firing, which, by the way, they started usually quietly firing, and that was mine. Go back in the archives, that was mine. I called it. Um, and then the Great Resignation and stuff like that. So there really is a lot of different things that are going around. And one of the things they're starting to talk about, which has been around forever, so this isn't new for people that have been in the workforce for quite some time. New job versus old job. So a lot of people during the pandemic were shifting around. Not a lot of people, a certain percentage of people were shifting around trying to find a new job as opposed to the old job they had. Yes, there were some firings. Yes, there was some quitting. Yes, there was some. I'm gonna try something new, so I'm just gonna do away with my job. But this is particularly for the people that had an existing job and they thought, now that I'm working from home, maybe I can go get a better job. So I'm going to try to get a new job. So I've had people around me talking about, what's the difference and what's the best thing, and how does it work? How does it necessarily work? Well, again, we've talked also a lot about perspectives. It's all about perspectives. So if you have a job and you've been at that job for a while, and you feel like you are being underappreciated, or they're taking advantage of you, or you're working 50, 60, 70 hours a week, and either you're not getting compensated for it, or you're just tired of having to work that many hours because you saw during the pandemic, you saw that you could have a life outside of work if you were used to doing those kind of hours. Then it might be time for you to look for a new job. And so there's some caveats that come with that though. So is the new job going to give you what you want? Are they not going to take advantage of you and want you to start working those hours? How are their benefits? How are their retirement? How is their PTO? There's a lot of things you need to put together before you just decide to quit your old job and get a new job, or get the new job, quit your old job, or give 2 weeks notice, which again, we can have a whole another discussion about giving 2 weeks notice. Or what? So the new job can have some of those things, or it can have all of those things. But you need to make sure and be aware that you need to look and read the fine print, so to speak, on the job. You need to ask the right questions. What is your PTO policy? Is it sick combined with vacation? So if you walk in and you think you're getting 4 weeks vacation and you're all jazzed about it, and then you realize that that those 4 weeks include your sick leave, then you don't really have 4 weeks vacation. You have 4 weeks, and that is a big difference. I know in the past I've had jobs that had 2, 3, 4 weeks, and they had sick leave. And so it wasn't that big of a deal for me, but for a lot of the people that I worked with, that was huge. So you need to check with that. You need to check, is the retirement package going to be as good or comparable to what you had before? How are the health benefits? Do they offer more but they charge more, or do they offer less and they charge more? That can be very big, especially if you have a family. So there's a lot of things you need to look at as to getting a new job before you move on to that new job. Now, having said that, let's look at the old job. The old job could have could have issues with their PTO. You don't like the PTO you had when you took it on as the new job. They changed their policies. This is a big one for a lot of people who have been in a company 5, 10, 15, 20 years. You were used to getting something 20 years ago, say, for example. Your PTO was separate from your sick leave. They actually called it vacation and sick leave, and so you got both. And then the policy changed, and now it's combined. Maybe you lost a little. Insurances always change, so maybe you went from paying what you considered a good amount to paying something that now even cost of living increase doesn't give it to you. Speaking of increases, does the old job still give you annual performance reviews? Do they give you A cost of living bump? Do they give you a review bump? Do they not give you anything at all? And you've been making the same money for years. So then, does that mean that you should try to get a new job? So there's a lot of different things you need to look at as far as new job versus old job. But if you're unhappy at your current position, and I've always felt this way, if you're unhappy at your current position, you're going to be bringing that unhappiness to everyone. I would prefer, and I'm sure other people that love their jobs would prefer someone who is not happy at their job, who is just bringing everyone down, to go get a new job. I don't know your circumstances. I don't know why you're not being happy at your job. Maybe you've told me some of the reasons why, and I accept it or I don't accept it. That's on me. But if you're not happy at your job, you need to get a job that you will be happy at, because you do spend a lot of time at work, regardless of whether it's at home or not. You have to work. You have to do work in order to pay for your fun time. So, and I'm not talking about doing above and beyond. For those of you that are quiet quitting, it's called doing your job. You're putting in 40 hours a week. If your boss is wanting you to do more than 40-hour weeks, that's something you may have to negotiate separately, but that's on you. That's not on us. And if you have a family, I really want to make this clear. If you have a family, don't just quit your job to move on to another job. If you're not happy, I get it. Get a new job. But find that new job before you quit. It doesn't help your family out in the long run. Even though you may be miserable for a short period of time, if you're miserable, start looking. If it takes you 14 months to get a new job, it takes you 14 months. But that money is coming in to provide for your family or to help support your family. You may not be the breadwinner, but you may be bringing in enough that it pays a couple of bills and it makes it easier on the entire family. So, new job versus old job, the bottom line is, of course, one of the always is, it really depends. If you're unhappy, get a new job. If you're happy at your old job, why would you think you would be happier at another job unless you've done the math? So do all that, and hopefully you'll be happy at any job you're at. That's the bottom line. And there you have it, everybody. A double episode, though not double in time. I apologize to everyone who may have been looking for my episode last week. In fact, I did have a couple of people ask me about it. I was not able to get my computer working. In fact, couldn't even get it to finish yesterday, Sunday. So here we are, Monday, 11/7. I hope everybody set their clocks correctly, as we did have a time change over the weekend. And congratulations to those of you that are Astro fans out there. I know there is a percentage of you out there that were watching. Congratulations to you, as the Astros did win the World Series this weekend. And then congratulations, of course, might as well as I keep going, to the Longhorns, as they won this weekend as well. So that's great for everyone who was watching and wanted them to win. Everyone who didn't want them to win, I so sorry for you. So this coming week, we have the Be the Light Craft Fair on Saturday. I hope everybody locally will be able to make it out there. Crazy Stacy has gone above and beyond and has 60 vendors out there, including some of my stuff that will be out there with neighbor James and Zyda P with her ice dye and quilts. And I also have a tasting this weekend. So we'll see. We'll see what happens with all that, and hopefully I won't have as many computer issues next weekend, and I can get it out on Sunday. So I hope you've enjoyed the show. Be looking forward to the next one. Remember my new handle, Javier in the Air 01. You can find me that way on YouTube now, and I will see everybody again next week. Thanks a lot, everybody.